Thank you, Dr. Bonham, and everybody. And again, thank you for inviting social work to the table. We are an organization or a profession that loves to collaborate and loves to work with others. So thank you for inviting us. And full disclosure, I do not have any videos. So well, thank you for helping me. While we're getting my slide set up, we are going to have, thanks to Brian's recommendation, we're going to have a little raffle for this for this beautiful brain that I did steal, but from one of our neuro-oncologists that's no longer in our practice. And so I'd like to raffle that. And if you'd like to participate, I'll pass it around. There are numbers, and then we'll have somebody choose. But thank you again. Again, my name's Brenda. I'm the social worker for the IB Center. I have been here for 5 years and have learned so much in the 5 years. And my main purpose in the clinic, I feel, is to support the patient and the caregiver through this journey. My role as a case manager is to provide resources, support, and to decrease your stress as you go through this process. So again, my address today, share and discuss community and online resources to support the patients and their caregivers. This is my version of the distress screen. Most of you will be very, very familiar with this. And the reason I just want to start off with the distress screen is that this is the main initial point of contact that your social worker will typically have with a glioblastoma patient. So this gives us a lot of information about things that the patient needs immediately. So on the distress thermometer, it goes from essentially 0, though, to 10. So immediately, just by looking at that narrative or looking at that, how folks have identified their distress on a thermometer, I can tell immediately how quickly I need to get in contact with that patient to provide resources and support. And as you can see, these are the main topics on the distress screen that we're looking at to help the patient with any physical concerns. Mostly folks are talking about fatigue, difficulty with sleep. There might be some pain from the craniotomy or from the incision site, but mostly folks are talking to us about fatigue, emotional concerns, coping with the diagnosis, stress of learning the diagnosis, concern for financial toxicity, how this tumor is affecting your ability to work, affecting your family's income. So those are all kinds of things that families might have concerns about that we can, as a social worker, can assist and provide resources. And then down the line, again, we're talking about school, housing, finances, insurance, transportation, all the things that affect folks that you're going to need resources and help. So just today, I have, as you saw when you came in, I have a little table set up of some resources, so I want to be mindful of the time and mindful of the weather as well. So I'll go over this real quick, but if I do have all of these documents in my little table back there, so if you want to access them, there's little folders you can take. Very important, durable powers of attorney. That's usually one of the first questions I ask when I meet a patient. When I do a chart review before I meet them, do they have their durable power of attorney? And one of the things I talked about last week when I gave the talk, one of the things I love that our clinic is doing is we are asking patients to create a proxy for MyChart. One of the things that we found that where folks really fall through our system through the safety net is we can't get a hold of them to check, hey, have you done your labs? Do you need help getting to the, to the lab to get your blood drawn? Do you have your TMZ? So our staff, I think, spends a lot of time trying to contact the patient who may or may not be able to answer the questions or they're not aware, given this diagnosis. Maybe they have some memory issues or cognitive issues. So if we can get a healthcare proxy or a MyChart proxy, that has been a world of difference in getting that patient treatment quicker and us checking labs to make sure they can go into the next cycle. So just consider that if you don't already have that, identifying someone that you can give a proxy to. So like I said, shout out to our IB team for really encouraging that and recommending that folks do that. In our IB Center, we do have a support group, and I see several, yay, of our patients here that are staunch attendees of that support group, and I've learned so much from them. It's a true support group. It's not a psychotherapy group. I'm not trained as a psychotherapist. It's a true support group where our patients come on to our virtual visits, and they talk about, we do a mindful moment, we do a check-in, see how folks are doing, and then everybody just shares their journey. What if they've learned about a resource, they're always so generous in sharing with the other participants what they've learned. One of the things that we have learned, I have talked to a few folks about this tonight, is there's a cancer retreat called Harmony Hill that costs about $25 to attend. And it's a great opportunity to go on like a weekend. I think it's only 48 hours. And you go, and it's a time to have some respite and some self-care and to interface and interact with other patients and families who are being affected by cancer. So I have some brochures out there. Again, you can go, and it's $25. It's in a nice location, and there's food. So that's always a motivator, is free food. But yeah, if that's something you can check out, I have some brochures back there. Also, on our list where we talk about healing arts and classes, through the Swedish Cancer Institute, we can offer patients art therapy, music therapy. We have, there's massage, there is cancer rehabilitation. So all these things that you have access to, we can help connect you to the person that you need to talk to in order to receive these services. One of the resources I really would like to talk about, and what a benefit he's been to our clinic particularly, is Dr. Adam Hinsey. He's a psychosocial oncology psychiatrist, and he provides short-term therapy and support to folks with glioblastoma. If folks are having difficulty coping or having difficulty with depression, our oncologists have done a great job, and Taylor Childs has done a great job of referring folks to Dr. Hinsey and trying to expedite getting our folks to see Dr. Hinsey for that extra benefit of a psychiatrist. Sometimes there's medication that's prescribed, and then Dr. Hinsey can manage that. And then after about several months, they contact the oncology social worker, and I connect you to a community-based behavioral health support for continuity of care. So it's a really nice system that's been set up to help patients coping with this diagnosis. In the back as well, those of you who are working or have a family member, the caregiver is working, there's a lot of support out there for folks who need to learn about their benefits. So I gave a little talk last week about that, but I didn't want to go over that in too much detail. But again, a lot of resources in the back about Social Security disability, Washington short-term disability, long-term disability. Maybe you can access your extended illness bank. You don't have to spend down your PTO to use Washington State short-term disability. So lots and lots of information. And when I talk to folks, I've learned in clinic, when I meet them in clinic, sometimes I see folks when I've been with Ivy Center for 5 years, a social worker for 35. So this language and this vernacular comes natural to me. So I really have to be mindful when I'm sharing with patients, because sometimes there's this glaze that kind of comes over. You guys are coping with so much. There's so much information coming to you in such a short period of time. So what I advise you to do is, give us a call, talk to us, and let us help you organize the information. But I do want to be mindful that you're learning a new language. You're increasing your health literacy about information that you never thought you were going to have to. It was never something that was, it wasn't on your bingo card that this was going to happen to you. So anything that we can do to help support you, please give us a call. One of the main things that happens too is sometimes folks come to our clinic with this diagnosis and have children, and they always want to know, how do we talk to the kids about the diagnosis? The biggest piece of advice or recommendation I would give to you is You know your child best. You're the subject matter expert on your child. And what we would advise is meeting your child where they are. If you have little kids and you just need to share little bits of information, I have a list of literature, of books that I can give to you to share stories with the little kids. We had one patient whose daughter was a teenager, but all she wanted to know was a thumbs up or a thumbs down after an MRI. That's all she could manage. So the family and the patient learned that, and that's how they communicated with her. On the other hand, another daughter came to all the appointments, asked tons of questions. She was very interested in the process, and we met her where she was, and we shared that information with her. But I think, like I said, my biggest recommendation is that you are the subject matter experts of your children, and you know how much information they can manage. And also, it's just helpful to ask them, what would you like to know? How much information would you like to know? And then you provide that at their level. The Swedish Cancer Institute does facilitate a CLIMB program for children. And just look out for Swedish Cancer Institute. They offer it usually a couple of times per year, and it's a time-limited course that's on that is virtual. The other thing that I really want to tout tonight is the Cancer Lifeline offers art classes and support for families and for children affected by cancer. So it might not be focused directly on glioblastoma, but children would be able to interact with other children of their age who have a parent or a family member who is affected by cancer. So shout out to the Cancer Lifeline. They also provide financial grants that we've applied for, and I will tell you, each time I've applied for a Cancer Lifeline grant for one of our patients with glioblastoma, they have been funded 100% of the time. So I'm very, very grateful to Cancer Lifeline and the support that they provide our patients. In the back, I'll just go over this real quick. In the back, I do have information on how to contact websites for each of the types of leave, but I just want to recognize and acknowledge that families want to, or patients talk mostly about when I meet with them one-to-one, about work, about maintaining their healthcare benefit, and also about the financial strain of getting to treatment, of maybe there's a copay cost you have to pay. So things like that, we understand the importance of work, we understand the importance of need to maintain benefits. So come talk to me and we can help you kind of dovetail along with your human resources on how to best meet your financial need. More information just about FMLA, which is unpaid, and then your long-term disability. Folks in our clinic, including me, complete the paperwork for you. We typically say 5 to 7 days. We can get it done a lot quicker, but again, just your coordination with us in making sure we're meeting the deadlines to get the paperwork done so that you're not denied, that you can continue benefits, continue to get your health care, continue to have some income coming in. Just let us know and we're happy to help. And finally, the big one, Social Security disability. I have some little handouts out there to help you. It's a great little book. It's not difficult to follow along. The Social Security Office has done a great job of concisely sharing information about Social Security disability. And if you have any questions, let me know. But that little booklet is out there for you, along with this resource guide. Two things I just want to highlight as well, for those of you that are working or are considering returning to work. Cancer and Careers and Triage Cancer are two really great organizations who offer tons and tons of information on their website, and they have free webinars. I've attended a few that are fantastic. So again, you can't always, I understand and I recognize that people can't always come to maybe groups sometimes, or they can't attend seminars or webinars when they're scheduled. So you can just go on 2 o'clock in the morning if you're up, go on and look at those websites and really gather a lot of information. And all those materials are free and the webinars are free. So just to share. That's a lot of information in a short period of time. Bottom line is, if you have any questions, let us know. Second, there's some resources out there. And third, any questions? Yeah, Brian.
Well, just congratulations on retiring.
Thank you, Brian.
And you've been a huge resource and a help to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you for the appreciation. I appreciate those Tuesdays. And I always get nervous, but you guys, thank you. You guys have been it's been a wonderful group. Yes.
Can we also give a shout out and some information to the caregiver support group?
Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes, and I have handouts out there. So we have a gentleman, Giles, who has a partner with glioblastoma, and on his own, he went out and started a caregiver support group, and he was generous to include the Ivy Center and the University of Washington Oncology social workers. So both healthcare systems are sharing information. They meet on Fridays. It's virtual. It sounds like quite a few folks are coming, and it is for the caregiver. It's really an opportunity for caregivers to interface, to talk openly and honestly about any stress, or I always say people can, when you gather with others who are going through something similar, that you can speak a sort of shorthand that is comforting and that it helps you realize you're not alone. But sometimes other folks have information that you didn't know about that you're like, oh, I didn't know that. And so Giles is his name. There are I have handouts out there. He has a little QR code. Or you can just go ahead and there's other ways to contact him to get onto that website. But it's a fantastic thing, and he's doing a great job. Thank you, Dr. Bonham, for pointing that out. Okay. Dr. Shaw, will you pick a number from 1 to 35?
17.
17. Anybody have 17? Woo-hoo! Yay! You get Well, you guys, thank you again. My name and phone number are out there. If you need anything, please let me know. I'm always happy to help. And I always tell folks, I'm very transparent. If I don't know the answer, I connect with my Swedish Neuroscience Institute social workers, or better yet, I reach out to the Swedish Cancer Institute oncology social workers, and they usually have information for me. So thank you so much. Okay. Yay.
Congratulations, Cami. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I hope it was interesting and useful, and maybe you learned something that you want to learn more about. So let us know if you want to hear more. Most of all, it was nice to get everybody here and get to talk to you. And so thank you for coming. I see one question, Molly.
I just wonder, are you doing another one? Is your plan to-
We hope to. Our goal is to do 3 of these per year. It's a little bit of a work in progress because this is the first one, so we don't have inertia yet. But I'm hoping to do another one in the summer and a third one in the fall. Sorry, in the winter. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.